Hello? 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 Took me way longer than it should have to find my scene for 14 stuff. There we go. Actually, don't know if I'll need the PF password today, but I'm gonna move it for now. There we go. Hit Dragon Song Ultimate today. God, I wish. Also, Chandra, I think for the 20-month resub with Prime, and Kay, I think for the 44-month resub. No Ultimate today. I am just mostly gonna finish up the MSQ. That I haven't done yet. We need to finish the other quest with the gods that apparently takes a long time still. There's a lot of like lore stuff that I kind of want to read through. Today won't be super duper exciting other than whatever else is for MSQ, which I don't know how much is left. And that'll probably be it. I know last time, this is like almost a week ago now, we did the first good bit of the MSQ and all that fun stuff, but I got sick, and it made it very hard to talk, but I'm feeling better now, which means we can finish it today, and then I also feel well enough to, like, you know, continue doing other variety stuff, maybe not today, but probably tomorrow or something, because I'm also been watching the Ultimate Prog of anyone streaming right now, so I kind of want to keep up with that until it gets cleared. Or at least see a good chunk of it, because I will not be doing the fight probably for a while. Because I do not have a group for it. But first we're going to go finish the 24-man plot stuff, which I kind of zoomed through at the end. I wasn't really paying attention, so I'm going to try to pay attention to it a little bit better now. My favorite thing, reading. I also recently got a new fan to help keep my room cooler. I don't think you guys can hear it. It's pretty quiet. It's pointed at me, but my mic shouldn't be picking up the fan at all. This thing I need. Nope, that is a sightseeing log. Oh, there it is. Can't hear the fan? Okay, good. Good. I'm actually kind of blocking it for the most part, like with my arm towards my like microphone, so it shouldn't pick it up at all. Hey streamer, can you hold this flashbang? Sure. How's life? Doing alright. I'm feeling better today. My illness that has afflicted me for like the past couple days has made it very hard to talk and do a bunch of other stuff like that, and not a good idea for me to stream, so was taking a few days off, just kind of doing whatever. But now I'm feeling better, so I can actually continue to do stream stuff again. I assume we're gonna have to go through all of the gods we fought. I assume the rest of this quest line is mostly just kind of extra lore for them. Which I'm kind of looking forward to the later one when we get to the god that I have for my character, which is Althic. That one I want to know more about. How goes with the side content? It's going. We're doing the most exciting thing, reading. Wittergilt. I believe that's the monk questline dude, isn't it? Either the pugilist guy, I can't remember, it's been so long. What's DSU Prog? Whenever I can get a group for it. And also after I clear 4, because I haven't cleared the tier yet. Hey, Nelia. Yeah, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to clear the tier probably anytime soon, because I know Sam is working on his ultimate prog right now, so, and since he's the raid lead of our casual static, and as much as I would love to try to take over that role and try to beat that fight, it's a little much, especially since we haven't raided in a while. And I don't know how many other people in the group would have the drive to try to clear it without Sam. I remember it for the most part. And I actually watched the entire second phase. It doesn't seem that bad, but wowie zowie, it would still take a long time. That wouldn't be like a quick setup thing. That would still be like hard prog for a while. I mean, our team does well enough. It's just like we don't raid that much. That's the problem. We only raid like 4 hours a week. And that's like nothing. That's like super casual. I like how this is turning into, like, Graha doing the Always Sunny meme with the board, and instead of Pepe Sylvia, it says Primals. That's all the gods. I don't think they're primals either. I think there's something else funky going on. Oh my god. Oh my god, beer got some fucking spriggin'. Oops, I did not mean to click that. We're gonna find out later that the fucking gods are made out of fucking dynamis or some shit. Because I'm not convinced they're primals. As much as we would love to use that explanation for everything. That's an interesting idea, but like... Because they said time immemorial, right? Like, they've been around literally forever. So... I don't remember... Hold on. Because this Elpis... Elpis is... before... No. Is it before the, like, the thing was split into the 13 shards, or is Elpis a part of specifically our shard? I can't remember. Before the Sundering. So before the Sundering would imply that it was before... Yeah, before the first Dynamis End of Days, but also, like, before all the shards got split, right? So, like, it is, like, the central thing, and then everything in Elpis got fucked, and Amarok got fucked by all the Dynamis crap, and then it all split into the shards we know now, which is the Source, the First, the all 13 of them. Well, we were talking about that before. That would imply that Dynamis could be in every shard. Because we were saying that Dynamis was specifically our problem. But that would mean that Dynamis could be in any of them. Because I always just assumed that Elpis was, specifically a this shard's issue, right? But that changes things a bit. Yeah, but we got to Elpis from the first, but that's because we went back in time, like, before the Sundering, right? That's, like, the whole thing. That was, like, the whole point. Because Elpis would have been before all the shit went down, obviously. Hmm. He has many similarities with Ramu. Like, he has a beard and a staff and stuff. Hmm. Hmm. Getting all that fat lore. See, I don't hate that idea either. That like the gods were made from, you know, Vana or whatever from Elpis. I think that's kind of interesting, but like, one, how did they survive? Two, why are they only a part of our shard? And I, I guess would that be imply that they're no, because they'd be Aether, right, or Dynamis? Probably Aether or Aetheric, I guess. I don't know. I guess the real question is like how much, because the whole concept of Dynamis would kind of popped in Endwalker only, really. I think there was like some old lore that like kind of hinted at some weird stuff going on, but it very much felt like it was just like a new idea that came in. It's like, oh, this is an explanation for all the weird shit or whatever. And I don't know how much they're going to lean into that for other lore going forward. I don't know. It really makes me curious because like I like the concept of it, but I don't know how much they'll lean into it. No, I know that's what it's like. It's essentially like another form of like, because it's all emotion based, right? Because that's what the explanation was, that like there's etheric magic and stuff, which is like what, 40 or like 30% of the stuff in the world, and then the other 70% is like dynamis, which is all emotional force and like power, right? I feel like I'm really overthinking this, and there's probably going to be a much simpler explanation as to where they came from, but we'll see. I don't think it was that shoehorned in either, because I like the concept of it. I think it's very fascinating. But like I said, I'm more curious as to how they'll lean into it. Actually, I just realized, did we ever, when we were in the first, did we ever get any sort of lore on their versions of the gods or anything like that? I don't think we did. And we didn't get, God, I'm racking my brain. We didn't, did they have primals? Am I stupid? I thought the implication was that they beat all of them already. My knowledge of 14 lore is poo-poo, if that wasn't obvious. Yeah, like, they defeated, like, all the big bads, right? That was what was implied. It was like everything had already been defeated and, like, all that stuff, and that's why the Flood of Light even happened, because they did too much shit. They did too much good. Yeah. Okay, because that's right, because then the trials we got in Shadowbringers was the weapons, correct? And then the raid was rebuilding the first, or like trying to restore what was left of it at any rate. Yeah, because Bismarck is there in his own little form, or his own unique form of the first, right? Because they did have primals, they did have things similar, but we never learned stuff like the gods in their reality, I guess. I don't think he's a primal, though. He exists within the first, but I don't think... I don't know. The bunnies had a god. Fairy. What am I thinking of? I mean, we had, like, Titania, but she wasn't really a primal. It was Titania and... I guess Vothri, but, like, I wouldn't even really count that either. Or Innocence. Because if we didn't learn... I guess my thought process is, like, if we didn't learn anything about the gods there, right? Either they never existed in that world in some different form than what we have, which then implies that the gods in our reality only exist here. They only exist, they only know about this shard, and that's it. Which is weird. Maybe, yes, true. We don't really know about the other ones yet. I'm just saying, like, as far as we know right now, it's weird to me to think about that. And yes, the primals in the Eden raid were from our memories. because we have poo-poo memory and we can't remember what all the fights were like back then. That's why Leviathan has 2 heads, because we couldn't remember because he had a tail and the head. Which is very, very funny to me. Uh-oh. Yeah, and Ramu was the centaur because we mixed it up with Ixion from Stormblood. Titan with a go-kart I can't find an explanation for. I mean, it's true. It's funny, though. Titan's fight was sick as hell, though. I love that fight. Because then... I don't know why Garuda Ifrit was together. I guess they were trying to do it both at the same time, but then it just kind of became a jumbled mess. I actually thought the concept of the Eden Race was neat, like a retelling or like a weird imagining of like the primals back then. I miss that. I miss that Titan fight, man. That shit was so cool. Also, the music in Eden slapped. That Titan theme is a banger. I like the Leviathan one a lot, too. Yeah, maybe don't talk about seeing the gods in the, you know, what I assume is the church or whatever. The believers of Naldthal. Here's a better question, because, like, was it... Okay. For the Eden raids, I know it was a mix of, like, you know, the Warrior of Light having poo-poo memory, right? Like, that's, like, kind of the joke, isn't it? Like, that's, like, the meme, more or less, of how that happened. But it was also, like, Eden kind of corrupting it a little bit, too. And that's what the fight actually, like, became. So, the other thing that I was about to say was... I forget how long in-game lore time it has been from Realm Reborn to that point in Shadowbringers. Because I believe in-game time, it's actually not that long. Maybe like a couple of years. A year? Man, our memory is shit. We literally forgot what every primal looked like in a year. That's fucking hilarious. That makes it even funnier. That's really, really funny. We did do a lot of shit. But the fact that it's a relatively short amount of time, air quotes, that it's just funny. Yes, my little boyo. Look at him. My little boyo. I love him. He is my favorite. Yeah, because that was with the time dilation thing with the first and everything right before we showed up. What do you mean I can't fly higher? All right, fine. I will never get over flying in old zones. It's weird. It's weird and it's wrong. Where be the bag? There it is. Oh no, having flying in the old zones is nice. Like, it's a good quality of life change. It's just, to me, as someone who played Realm Reborn back in the day and like not having flying, it's weird. It's still weird, even after having it for so long now. It just feels wrong. It hurts my small boomer brain. Hello? What the fuck was that sound? Sounded like a Saturday morning cartoon sound effect. Do we ever get an answer on like what the gods actually do? Like, they've just been kind of chilling this whole time, not doing fucking shit. I don't remember. I know I had like the huge rant that they've been fucking useless the whole time. That I do remember. That was like the whole rant that I did. I was like, they didn't even help during the calamity. They fucking failed. It's like, well, that wasn't actually them. But like, they just haven't really done anything. No, they didn't change your stats. It was just whatever race you played back in the day. But I'm not talking like video gamey stuff. I mean like literally lore-wise, have they done literally anything? I mean, I imagine it's a lot of the, like, we don't want to interfere. Oh, God. They don't want to interfere with, like, you know, the world of man, and they're just there to be there in case something happens, even though they didn't show up and the whole Dynamis thing happened. But that's not the point. 'Cause what I would want to see from this quest line and like the rest of the 24 mans is like, yes, we deal with them and like fight them or whatever, but then they actually like kind of help and do stuff afterward. Unless there's like some big plot thing that changes, or like they just kind of stick to what they've been doing, which is fucking nothing. It turns out the 12 are made by the Wandering Minstrel, and is his very cool and original characters. Oh my god. Hey, Cap. I did see this stuff for the weapon contest. It looks really good. I really liked the paladin stuff, and I think the Dark Knight sword was really cool. I'm gonna have to go look at them again. I checked them on my phone earlier today, but it was like kind of hard to tell all the detail. Food. No, not the sugar cube. Recover from being sick by doing Elden Ring bleeding therapy. No, I just... As much as I enjoy Bleed, I don't know how much I would commit to it. It's very dumb. It's very, very, very dumb in that game. It took me 3 tries. It took me 3 tries because the very first one, I didn't realize I was going to spawn right in front of her. And I summoned the Mimic and she just kind of killed me. The second try, I got a little greedy with the Corpse Piler thing because I wasn't really used to it still. Because, like, right before I got to her, I just kind of, like, swapped to Bleed. Like, I didn't really do much in practice with it. I just kind of did it. And then the third try, she just kind of died. I actually knocked her out of Waterfowl with a Bleed proc at one point. Like, she jumped up into the air, got procced Bleed, and just fell back down. I believe they fixed that, actually. I think they fixed it after I beat her. Or the day I went to fight her again on New Game Plus. Like, it really wasn't that hard. Like, Bleed just kind of deletes her. Are we going to talk about how Derek opened his big fat mouth in front of a bunch of people? What's the over-under that Derek is a god? I mean, he's been acting a little weird. A little weird. Derek is the god's receptionist. Oh my fucking god. Well, I guess that's it. Now we continue good old-fashioned MSQ. Which, please give me more info about Golbez, please and thank you. Is it time to Q-snipe me in PvP? Nah. I did a few games earlier and just didn't really have a good time. I really don't think PvP is for me. I can't. I don't feel like I play well enough in it, and I just really struggle having a fun time in it. Doing Q-sniping with people is kind of fun, because we're kind of just dicking around, but like, just doing it by myself is pain. Did I think we would be getting Voidless Dragon Lore in this patch? No, not really, no. It was cool to see some of that stuff, though. I'm more excited to see what the fuck Golbez's deal is. A part of me really wants him to be, like, really heavy-handed in MSQ. And not just Trials. But, we'll see what happens. Oh no. Oh no. I'm actually curious how much is left of MSQ, because I feel like we've covered pretty much most of the main stuff. It kind of needed to be done. Some of the dialogue options are so funny. I've really enjoyed a lot of them this expansion. Good guy, Vritra. Did I ever go back and see what happens when you throw Ishtola under the bus after the dungeon? No, I would never went back to go check it. Pretty sure I have voices on. Please. Please tell me I have voices on. Please, God.
I
Thank you. Okay. Ooh. Reckons thank you for the 28-month resub.
The riches the radiant host have retrieved were hoarded in our fortune I set aside.
Have I seen any of the new Ultimate? I sure have.
Need.
I've been watching the prog of some people on Twitch.
And lo,
Anyone
that
streaming?
day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamad. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Kalzal's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. A simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come. Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
They're really gonna make. Oh, they're really gonna make me pick. Oh boy. Fuck. I really don't know. You get another option here if you participate in Idleshire restoration or Ishgard restoration. Interesting. Too bad I don't craft.
Of course, we can draw on trading profits to build a new institution. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage. Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name. A fitting candidate. blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Murad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation. Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor. Clerks, see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Can the dragon? Can someone get that dragon some gauze really quick? He's definitely still looking a little messed up.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. I'm reminded of Ishgard.
Some dragon grade Neosporin. Oh my god. You're gonna need a lot of Neosporin. It's gonna have to be very strong. And yeah, Stinian has very much chilled out more over the last few expansions. He, however, is still very dumb when it comes to money.
Right, here we all are.
Ishtola inside voice,
You
it's very
discovered
echoey in
something
here.
new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first.
I got a really bad headache and fell over. Or something like that, I don't really remember.
You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Then what of the many voidsent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power. To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact.
How do you channel the energy for something like that, though? Like, how would you notice, be able to summon like a void
Our more
portal?
powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner.
Yeah, but we already have a job that has a void set. It's fucking Reaper, isn't
Instead,
that?
'tis far more
That's the
common
void,
to
right?
bring over only
Am I
the
crazy?
entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain Exarch dragged us to the first. And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Sense physical form is left behind in the 13th.
Oh, and then they put the soul into the thing. Yeah, okay.
Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Wait. You said that void scent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge,
Those
planar fissures
ding-dang
are, in essence,
Alligans.
natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse. Why is only the boundary between the Source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the Source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
Now, is it
No.
because the
danger is too great.
connection between them is fragile, or because the void is literally so strong it's trying to
Perhaps.
consume other shit?
But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Newfound adventure? Wink, wink.
Were you not listening to my tale?
Wink.
Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
I assure you I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be certain death. But if I were to bring along
Ow.
one who has already braved the 13th, and humbled
Yeah, the cloud of darkness. Yep.
Well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Bro, we've already been there.
Since when were you one for the quiet life?
Literally never.
Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
Wink, wink.
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be
I
allowed to
mean,
threaten
what's
Razat
the
Han,
worst thing that could
assuming
come through the
managed to
void gate,
expand
right?
the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daimir was overseeing the project.
Daimir.
I mean, Diabolos wasn't that bad.
Yes. The family associated with the great work.
He wasn't that powerful.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made void scent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daimir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
With what? With Graha's favorite place to sneak around, absolutely.
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charleon.
I mean, at this point, Charleon is probably
Unless
more
you
open to
anticipate
us
needing
actually
help
going
to
in
reach
there
the
now.
high shelves. I see myself being a bit of a... Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
I regret to inform you, Estinian, that I am taller than you.
Let us be on our way as well.
Could you imagine him using, like, an actual Dragoon jump to reach something on a high shelf? That would be so funny.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
How tall is my aura? Max height? I think max height aura is like 7 foot something. This star diver to put a bookmark in. I mean, IRL, I'm like 6'4". Corey is 6'3". I'm only like slightly taller than him. I mean, we're basically the same height. If I am, I'm pretty sure I'm slightly taller than him, but like not by very much. It's your boy. It's our homie. Oh, that's too fast. Oh my gosh. Well, about that. Hmm. I mean, I imagine he's less of a hard ass now, so probably a little bit easier to ask him for something like this. Yes, hopefully at any rate. I mean, Allegan stuff can basically be summarized as we've reached the point where we probably should have stopped, but let's keep going anyway just to see what happens. Do we... Is there an answer as to where they went? Do we still have an... Do we not have an answer for that? Did they just kind of, like, disappear still? Was that ever explained? Like the Allegans, like what happened to them? They just kind of like poof. They died from what? What did they died from? Oh, Calamity. Okay. Do we know what caused that? Cloud of Darkness. Ligma. They ripped a hole in the void. Okay. So they okay. So we're literally repeating the process that they goofed, essentially. So we're literally doing an oopsie doodle. Goody. Oh, goody. It's like the sudden realization of the Warrior of Light being like, hey, wait a minute, didn't the Allegans do this and they fucked it up? It's like, hey, hey, Stola, can I talk to you for a second? It's like the meme from Smiling Friends. So basically they tried to do some shit with the Void, but also did some shit with Dalamud, and the combination of those two things fucked everything. Am I understanding that correct? They goofed it. They did the fucky wucky. The oopsie doodle. I see. was during a revolt where Zonde said, "Fuck it, nihilism forever," and called down the energy of Dalaman. Alright. The TLDR version is basically they goofed it. Pretty much. And Zonde is a piece of shit. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Immediately looks at him. Looks away. I actually figured we would get like a whole cutscene out of that. Oh, Darrell, thank you for the 35-month resub. I appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Oh, I'm just realizing I'm going the wrong way. I was alt tab looking at Twitter. Look at the door. What, this? Looks like Vuln stacks. Oh no, he's talking like the SpongeBob meme. Arcade, you stole ID and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? God, that is a mess to read. Piano do be slapping. Google Library Ultimate.
If House Damir's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
The Great Google Library hard. Yeah, this is a really bad time to bring up that I am actually illiterate. We found the book. Can I get the Cliff Notes version? Alchemist for Dummies?
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of
House of Daymir for
resonance
Dummies.
many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about.
Like snapping my neck to look down at Ishtola.
Among the ranks of the Void Sent,
Tomos.
there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures, a talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations.
Wait, so Atomos is man-made, or is that what it's implying, or are we just like looking through them? That's...
Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings reveal that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate. Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing
okay, so they made
what we have
their own
dubbed
version.
our
Okay.
artificial Atomos.
Interesting.
How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Void Scent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales.
I have no fucking idea.
And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for.
The line is different if you played 1.0. Interesting.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves? Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
That no one would know. We could stay here and just keep reading. So many things to learn. Get to make our own Atomos. Interesting. Interesting. This forbidden knowledge. I want to learn it. I want to learn all. Just fucking pop. Cat, can I help you? Cat, can I help you? Hello? Actually, okay. It's like, which one would be faster to fly to, but it's kind of doesn't matter. What do you mean? You mean to tell me that trying to open a void gate of our own and walking into it is a terrible idea, an unwise decision? That's probably fine. It's probably fine. We already beat up the Cloud of Darkness, and they were only level 50, so I can't imagine the rest of the Void would be any scarier. No, that'd be nothing else. Nothing else to be worried about. That's fine. No big deal. McDalamuds. We just walk into the void and it's Risk of Rain 2. The Beetle Guard shows up and we just die. Walk through the void gate, immediately walk up to Golbez. Golbez looks down with the pathetic meme and just says, "So, Warrior of Light, have you ever played Final Fantasy IV?" Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It is time for the thing.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What are we just gonna like
What is it
poof
you're
and
doing
atome
now?
us together? Gonna magically smack them all together
There's
and
something I wish to verify.
get a thing?
The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Gra has theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Yeet that bitch in there and see what happens? Might as well go myself. It'll just push a Stydian into the fucking void.
Very good. I see you've been paying attention. As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
Uh-huh. Concern. Concern is rising.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
Is she about to summon who I think she's about to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Is she about to do what I think she's about to do? Oh boy.
Water, froth and foam!
Into your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That
Oh,
was
fuck.
adorable.
Okay, that's not what I expected.
Water, froth and foam! Time to play!
That's so fucking funny.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
That's so funny.
In any case, these two should serve us well. This one will bear a warding scale.
You will get to live. The other perish.
And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nidana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know. Let us begin, shall we?
That's so fucking funny, dude. The return of Lala, Zoltan,
Nixies, into the void.
and the forbidden Lalafell form of creator. They just fucking explode. Yeah, I was Lalafell for a little bit in Creator. It was literally so bad for me that I kept wiping us because I was not used to the height difference.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
They ain't gonna come back. Oh. Well, that one ain't looking so hot.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
Watch that one be the one that has the scale, and the other one that didn't have it is fine. Hello?
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
But which one has the thing? Which one has the scale? We don't know. There's no confirmation yet.
The
I think it's this one.
Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Okay, no, so the other one did have the scale. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
It's real fucked up because the Ascians
my
goofed
apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining.
it. Again, the
They
Ascians
erred
goofed
in
it.
their haste and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether.
What?
By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness.
What?
And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
You mean to tell me that the champions of that world are the fucking fiends? Hello?
I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries.
More
And I need to be there
expansions.
every step of the way. But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could, if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives?
You recognize that voice.
Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
I mean, if it turns out to be that the elemental fiends are like that version, like that world's version of like the Warrior of Light, that's so sick. That'd be so cool. The Alligans. Those ding dang Alligans. Yes, we're actually remembering to go to talk to Sid this time. You doing those gosh darn coils you kids are always on about. You dang kids in your rating or whatever it's called.
Ah, Estola! The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Zadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial Atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them.
Whatever
Indeed,
argument's happening in chat
they
about
were ever
story
eager
and
to
like
seek
elaborating
new
on
knowledge,
things, like it needs
regardless
to
of the
stop
danger.
before this turns into like a whole thing.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan.
Oh, damn. That boy got some sass.
You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We get to bring
We will
Vritra on our
succeed
adventure.
in
Let's
opening
fucking
the way.
go.
It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
Sorry, my resting bitch face is acting up.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ashdaya nor Radzatan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavnair for a time, My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends,
Would
to
he
watch
be able
over
to
one another
control it
until I return.
through the void? How the fuck does that work?
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
He's done it before? Huh. Oh, he said he already did it before? Okay, I don't remember him saying that. I figured it'd be like a disconnect thing, like right as the body went through. That is true, yes, I forgot about that. So it's just gonna be like the four of us going to save a fucking dragon from the void? I don't know how well that's gonna go. I don't know about that one, Chief. That is true. That is a fair and valid thing. But also, consider the void. That is also true. Because we don't know much else about the rest of the planet other than, you know, all the stuff that we've seen in Eorzea specifically. It would be hard to match that, but, like, it depends on, like, what we see, right? Like, what they decide to do for the rest of the story. Meanwhile, at the League of Evil! Go, Bess. Go, Bess. I forgot about this person. So this was, oh yeah, this is a completely separate person from Golbez. I forgot. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm.
And thus I am returned. To this world, bereft of saviors.
They almost kinda look like the void scent that Xenos has. The arms too. Almost. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting. Because that looked really similar to Xenos's, like, void scent that shows up. Hmm. Fascinating. Yep, that was it. If that ended up being Zeramis or Zemis, I'd be very surprised, considering the way they look. It's so drastically different, given how that Golbez looks basically the same. And I imagine the Fiends would look the same as well. But, like, I don't know. I'm not convinced. I feel like the, like, Zeramis or Zemis or whatever would be tied to the Golbez, like, I guess, new primal stuff or whatever, in a way. Because God, I would want to see that in one of the fights. It'd be so fucking cool. But I guess we are done for the day, because that's pretty much all I wanted to do. See, that'd be cool. But we'll pretty much just have to wait and see what happens. Because we have a while, I believe, until we get another patch. Because I think they said that they were doing, like, patch cycles every, like, 4 months now instead of 3. So we got a lot of time. And yeah, I gotta figure out the group situation for Ultimate at some point. I would like to do it. I would love to do it, but I don't know when that would happen. At least for the time being, we have a lot of variety stuff to do still. I don't know if I'll stream 14 much still. I was gonna kind of do PvP, but I've been having a really rough time kind of enjoying it. Because I definitely don't want to do ranked because I take it way too seriously. But even casual matches have been pretty not super fun for me. And I don't really want to stream me getting kind of annoyed most of the time when doing matches. Yeah, we do technically need to finish Bravely Default too, but I don't know when that would ever happen. There's still some classes I kind of want to level, but also, like, most of those things are like DPS, and DPS queues are kind of poo-poo. But variety stream stuff would probably be Final Fantasy VII Remake next. That's like the big one. I think that was like the next main thing we talked about. Let me see. Let me see. I mean, I already went through like 80% of New Game Plus. I'm literally at Fire Giant again already. I've already beaten Godric, Radon. I finished Ronnie's quest again. I beat Renala. I beat Morgott. I beat I beat Millennia again with a bleed build. But like the only thing I have left to do is like Fire Giant, Malekith, and that's kind of it, and then the final boss. A lot of the side area stuff I don't really want to do other than like beat Moog again, and that's kind of it. Fire Giant is annoying. It's not a super fun fight. The issue too with Elden Ring is that like, as much as I would love to stream it more, you know, because like I did want to stream New Game Plus, but obviously I got sick and I needed something to do, and I just kind of wanted to play Elden Ring for myself, you know, because I had basically been forcing myself not to play the game other than for stream. So kind of doing that on my own was really fun, but I don't want to finish and move to New Game Plus 2 yet because the issue is I don't want to go too far into New Game Plus difficulties if there's going to be DLC, and I don't want to suffer going through a DLC for the first time on like New Game Plus whatever the fuck I decide to do, you know? Because that ends up being really painful. So I'm kind of just sticking with New Game Plus for now, and I don't really want to make another character because it hit me the other day that I have to get all the fucking cookbooks again on a new character, which sucks, and I don't want to do it. Because I'm lazy. I at least right now, I might change my mind later. But it hit me like the second I made a new character for like a bleed build, I was like, oh shit, I gotta get all the fucking things again. I mean, the interactive map would help, yeah, and there isn't too much I would really need. It's just, there's just a lot. There's just a lot of things that I would have to get again. And then I have to basically go through all of the game again, you know, and do all the side crap again to get levels and blah, blah, blah. All that fun stuff. I might change my mind for like a caster build maybe, but we'll see. For the most part right now, I'm pretty much done with Elden Ring, other than finishing up New Game Plus and then not touching it until possibly DLC. Because I think I could stomach going through DLC on New Game Plus and be fine. Because for the most part, the game hasn't been that hard. Even doing all that stuff up till like Millennia without a bleed build on strength was like fine. Like it was not an issue at all. I just ended up doing bleed because I wanted to try it myself, and also I figured to make Millennia easier, which it did significantly, which is dumb and it annoyed me, but that's not the point. But I guess next thing will be FF7. There is still a lot of other things we could do as well. Like I have a bajillion things I can do for variety stuff. I have so many backlogged games we need to do. But I think that's like the next big one. I believe that will be it for today. The other thing too is that like, I've been very distracted as well watching the prog right now for Ultimate. And that's been kind of eating up a lot of my time, at least while I was sick for like the past couple days. Yeah, I'm doing the PS5 version of the 7 remake. Once we're done with that, I don't know what we'll do. Honestly, we have to go through every Final Fantasy game anyway, so we might do 8 next. Or maybe something else, depending on how I feel after we finished it. I can't really think of something I would really want to do other than FF7 right now. Maybe Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know. We'll see. No, it's alright. I know discussions can be fine. It's just I could tell it was kind of going in a direction where it was about to become an argument. Better to stop it early before it evolved into something worse. But I am going to go ahead and just end stream for now, because not too many people I know are really streaming right now. But thank you all for joining, and I hope you all had a good time. I'll actually upload this VOD too, since I think people wanted to see my reaction for 6.1 stuff. And again, unfortunate that I do not enjoy PvP too much, which I was kind of looking forward to doing more 14 stuff for stream. We might do like very casual stuff occasionally, like I might just hang out for a day, play 14, maybe do leveling, but I haven't really had the drive to do 14 much other than wanting to really fucking do Ultimate right now. Because God, I want to do that fight, it looks so fucking cool. But y'all have fun, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.